Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Cook Serve Delicious 3. And Cook Serve Delicious 3 is one of the single best cooking or serving games I have ever played. And to be fair, I've only played a handful of cooking games, and I've never played the first or second Cook Serve Delicious. I mainly played the older Cooking Mama games and some random phone apps, but holy cow, Cook Serve Delicious 3 is fantastic. And before we get into the review, I do just want to let you guys know that I was given an early review copy of the game in order to make a video for you guys. I never let that influence my reviews, I just like staying as transparent as possible for you all. So Cook Serve Delicious 3 has been in early access and is now fully launching on PC and consoles, and it is a crazy, chaotic, fun game and exactly what you would expect from a cooking and serving game. So the game starts with your restaurant getting destroyed as America is knee-deep in war, and you hit the road in a food truck bringing amazing food all across the USA. And so at first the game starts relatively simple as it teaches you the mechanics. You have several holding stations at the top of the screen that you use to prepare large amounts of ready-to-go or almost ready-to-go food like pretzels, churros, brownies, and more, and then special individual orders will pop up on the left side of the screen, and these you want to make and box up before you arrive to the location. And you'll be able to see how much of each food you will need to prep on a menu board so you can kind of start to plan while driving to the next stop. And every single food item you make in the game has its own unique process. So some food might be relatively simple like pretzels, where you just put a bunch of them in the oven at once, and then after a little while they're all ready to go, but some of them are way more involved. You could have a pizza that you have to put 5 specific pizza toppings on according to each order, and that takes time. And whenever you arrive at one of your stops, hungry customers will flood the food truck and you can see what they're specifically requesting on the left side of the screen. And there's an auto serve button that when you press it, it'll automatically serve customers everything it can from what you have available, and this button is a lifesaver. And it's so satisfying when you first roll up to a place and you just instantly serve 15 of the items to the satisfied customers. And while you are stopped, customers will keep flooding the stand, so you need to kind of multitask to make sure you have enough food in the holding stations at the top, along with finishing some of the meals for customers. So as an example, burgers you can prep, but every time a customer wants a burger, you have to see all of the ingredients, and they have specific ones they want on their burger, and you have to make it for them and then serve it to them. So it gets extremely intense really quickly because you don't want anyone to wait too long and get angry so they leave, and you have to find time in between all of the chaos to prep more food, and then once you serve everyone in that area, you start driving to the next area. And this gives you a little bit of a breather and allows you to prepare more food in the holding stations and make some of those special orders. And after you complete each and every stop, you finish the level, you get a bronze, silver, or gold medal depending on how well you did, you get some money and some experience, which I'll talk about in a second, and then you move on to the next level. And what is really awesome about this game is that every single level you get to choose what food to put on your menu. Sometimes the level might be themed around something, so it might be like a barbecue themed level, so it'll allow you to pick between a ton of different meat-based foods, but you still kind of get a choice what specifically to put on your menu. And every recipe has a different difficulty corresponding to how hard and time consuming it actually is to make. So something like pretzels that you can just throw 4 of them in the oven at a time and then that's all that's needed is like a level 0 food, but a chicken sandwich that requires you to choose the correct type of chicken each time and then put the right topics on it for each customer is a level 3. And the higher level foods you have, the more money and the more XP you get, but that doesn't mean you should just have the hardest difficulty food on your menu for each category, because you aren't going to have enough time to get everyone's orders out when you're having to focus on a million different things. So you kind of get to set your own difficulty a little bit for each level, which I really like because you start to kind of learn how much points you can have total on your menu without you just completely losing control and failing. And also, I really love the kind of, theming of my own menus. So one menu I made, I had a lot of breakfast food on it with pancakes and waffles, and then the next menu I had was just a super unhealthy American themed one with chicken sandwiches and fries and fried chicken. And this is honestly one of my favorite parts about the game because, it doesn't just let you pick every single food item every single time, and if it did, you would kind of just start to pick the same ones over and over. So it kind of themes each level while still letting you pick the specific items you want. And also because every single food has its own entirely different process of how to make it, you start to learn which ones are nightmares to deal with, and you also want to keep just experimenting with the different foods you haven't used before just to see how you get to make them in the game. And with all the money you get, firstly you use that to buy new recipes to make, but they're all kind of cheap, so the main use for them is customizing your truck with cool trinkets and things to hang on the wall, and that's pretty awesome, but it's kind of a minuscule part of the game. And every time you level up, you get a skill point that you can eventually use to level up your food truck in a perk tree type system, so you can get more prepping stations, you can improve some of the stats on some of the different things in your truck, and there's also a couple other unique things. And so between the cosmetics and then the literal progression tree it has, it always makes you feel like you're working towards something besides just going forward in the levels. And I just want to go back to talking about the gameplay real fast because, oh my gosh, I cannot even begin to explain how much fun it is when you're just frantically trying to make everyone's orders without making mistakes and multitasking. And the music that plays is one of the best soundtracks in a game I have ever heard. It matches how frantic you are working, but it never seems to stress you out. It calms you in a weird, frantic way that's kind of hard to explain, so I just want to play you a quick snippet of the songs with some of the gameplay. And also, if you would rather not frantically play the game at lightning speed, you can play on relaxed mode, which gives you infinite time to complete the recipes, and the only downside is you can only earn a maximum of silver on each level. And I think that's a fair trade-off, so you can still beat the game and everything, you just can't get the highest score on everything and unlock some of the special unlocks. And so overall, if you are a fan of cooking or serving games, I think you will absolutely love this game. I don't play the most cooking games on the planet, but out of the ones I have played, this is hands down one of the best, and I highly recommend you guys check the game out as it's fully launching on Steam and coming out on consoles on October 14th. And if you have played Cook Serve Delicious 3 in early access, or as it's coming out, or just from watching gameplay, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I love talking with you all. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make 2 to 3 video reviews a week on a wide variety of games, so subscribe and ring that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say to see those in the future. And if you can't get enough of me, I also have a podcast called Media Crash, where every episode we talk about a different genre of games or TV or movies, and one of our most recent episodes was on random MMOs we played as kids, so check that out if that interests you at all. And if you're going to be grinding out some recipes of Cook Serve Delicious 3, I wish you luck, and see you guys next time.